Okie dokie, I think we are live. We are indeed. Just a quick little live stream, man. We'll talk some boxing. And yeah, man, Friday night live stream. What's not to like, man? I do plan on watching the Kareem Lee McGregor fight, which is on quite soon. So I'll probably go off of that one. But yeah, we'll talk some boxing. Just a quick live stream. Nothing too serious. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. Big up to MMA champ in the building. Salute to you, sir. Hopefully you're keeping well. Okie dokie, 1 second. Save that shit. But yeah, big up to MMA champ. Salute to Mark, aka Unrivaled Boxing Talk. Yeah, Mark, for me, that card is not pay-per-view worthy from what we see so far. The main event, listen, the main event's a good fight. Don't get me wrong. It's a good fight, but if that's pay-per-view, it needs a stacked undercard. And I don't call that a stacked undercard. Yeah, you got a couple of names on there, but that absolute mismatches. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Tyan Booth's sloppy seconds. I'm more looking forward to Tyan Booth's video reacting to that, to be honest. Marcus Morrison could get seriously hurt in that fight. I kid you not. He failed domestically at 154. He's gone up to middleweight. He's beaten a faded Blandamura, who was once European level, and now he's fighting Chris Eubank Jr. on pay-per-view. Dimitri Bivol versus Craig Richards, absolute mismatch. Craig Richards, good domestic fighter, but ultimately he's 1-1 at domestic level at light heavyweight. I doubt Craig Richards is even European level in this light heavyweight division, to be honest. And Katie Taylor versus Natasha Jonas. I'm not interested personally. That's not my cup of tea. If it's yours, fair enough. But bro, it's not for me, man. I think the card needed to be a lot stronger. For me, Craig Richards should really be fighting Joshua Buatsi. I'd rather have seen that fight, quite frankly. Just a poor card, in my opinion, altogether. Really poor card. I'm sure a couple of more fights are going to get announced, but I can't see it getting any better, to be honest with you guys. I really can't. And especially considering when this card was being spoken about, they was kind of insinuating that it was really stacked, but Christ. Big up to MMA champ. He says, I'm streaming the fight on my channel called Hamza Boxing Streams. Don't pay for it. Interesting. Big up to MMA champ. Definitely going to help us out, bro. Big up to you. Had to contain myself making a video. Bivol's going to destroy Richards. Indeed, he will. It'll take a few rounds. Bivol is very cerebral like that. He won't jump in or anything, but he'll outbox him and more than likely knock him out. Yeah. Yep, Team Stream or VPN. Yep. Team Stream, no doubt. No doubt about it. Bivol versus Eubank Jr. at 168, Richards versus Buatsi, and then you have a good card, but even then you're pushing it. Do you know what, Mark? If that was the case, I wouldn't moan, believe it or not. I wouldn't moan. I'd be okay with it. But, bro, come on, man. Big up the Bump of K in the building. Yes, Del Boy, be watching properly after this game of Warzone. Levi Khan, big up Del Boy lad, as they say across the pond. Levi Khan, straight out of NYC. Big up to Levi. Parker will beat Chisora on a wide decision, hugging and the regular. Yeah, that fight potentially could develop that way. Really kind of ugly, mauly. You could see that fight developing that way. Hopefully it's a war. Hopefully both guys come to bring it. But listen, Derek Chisora, tough guy. I respect him. He's durable, been around, experienced. But he's basically a high-level gatekeeper. That's what Chisora is. And Joseph Parker, arguably the most boring top 10 heavyweight in the world. And that's a pay-per-view headliner. To me, I don't know, man. Not good enough. Eubank Jr. fighting bums, nothing new, Del Boy. Yeah, I'm disappointed in that fight. Again, to be honest with you, JF, I've got no problem Eubank Jr. or Dimitri Bivol taking tune-up fights, even at that level, but they should not be on pay-per-view undercards. To be honest, they shouldn't be on pay-per-view undercards. That's my problem. Chisora Parker is a money grab. They'll go 12 rounds. Parker will win a UD, but what does it really prove? Yeah. If this wasn't pay-per-view, it's an okay card. Pay-per-view is taking the piss, yep. I want to hear Ty and Booth's reaction to the Eubank fight. Yeah, exactly, Savvy Ringcraft. That's what I'm looking forward to most, to be honest. Brandon Blanco, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Curtis Stevens. Curtis Stevens is definitely washed these days, but he'll be better than Marcus Morrison. I'll tell you that much. At least Curtis can punch. I'd rather see that, but still not a great fight. But, man, I don't know, man. I was expecting a lot better for some reason. I was expecting a lot better. Bear in mind, like 9 years ago, we was getting Kyle Froch, Lucian Butte on regular Sky with Kyle Frampton on the undercard. That was the type of fight we would get on regular Sky back in the day. But these days, this is a pay-per-view headliner. Bear in mind, we're told constantly how much British boxing has grown in the last 10 years or so. If that's the case, why were we getting better headliners back in 2011 or 2012, sorry, when Froch fought Butte? We was getting better regular fight nights then. But now apparently the sport's grown. Yeah, look at what we get on regular Sky, man. It's an absolute joke. Do you think Joseph Parker's cashing out because of the meth allegations? Potentially. Yeah. Who knows? Why is Eubank Jr. such a joke? Heading towards the Harley, the Bin Man Ben territory. Wouldn't go that far. I like Chris Eubank Jr., believe it or not, but, you know, I find him entertaining. I actually think he's better than some people say. But, you know, this level of opponent does nothing for him. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. Listen, man, if they had Chris Eubank Jr. versus Ryota Murata on the undercard, now we're talking. Because Chris Eubank Jr. was the WBA interim champion not too long ago at 160. That would be a great fight for the undercard. Eubank Jr., Ryota Murata. Great fight. That would be a brilliant fight for the undercard. Craig Richards versus Joshua Buatsi. Much better fight. You know? Just not good enough in my opinion. And again, I know it's kind of trendy to hate on Matchroom, but objectively, this is a poor card. Objectively, look at the odds for like these undercard fights, man. Look at the odds. Look at the odds for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Marcus Morrison. Christ. Chisora's a heavyweight. Darnell Boone, both gatekeepers. Yeah, I'd say Chisora's better than Boone, pound for pound, but they are both. Yeah, they're both gatekeepers. Kyle Bird, I actually don't mind the card. Not paying for it, though. Laughing my ass off. Eddie really does milk the pay-per-view model to the extreme. Yeah, exactly. I'll watch the card, man, but I'll just watch it through different means. If you catch my drift. XMB 45, I didn't know this was the third time Ortiz missed weight. When was the other two? I know he missed weight in like 2019, I think. I think it was 2019. He missed weight. Did Virgil Ortiz then go back and make weight for the Maurice Hooker fight? Has he actually made weight now or not? Because I heard that he went back and made weight. That's what I heard, but I'm not sure whether he has or not. Hopefully he's made weight, because that'll be disappointing. I like Virgil Ortiz a lot, so if he's missed weight and he's not made weight, then yeah, I'll be very disappointed. Very disappointed, because Virgil's a good fighter, man. Nice cup of coffee. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, big up to you guys, man. Hopefully you guys are having a good Friday evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you guys are keeping well, man. But yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to the weekend's boxing as well. Some good fights this weekend. Some interesting fights anyway. Would rather pay for Ruiz versus Areola. It would be more entertaining at least. Yeah. They're both really bad pay-per-view headliners, quite frankly. I think the Ruiz-Areola fight is actually worse because of a price point. But yeah, both fights do not belong on pay-per-view as it currently stands. Apparently, Ty and Booth's last fight was a win over Marcus Morrison. Yes, it was. Yep. He beat Marcus Morrison in a 4-rounder. Yeah, he did. Okay, so Ortiz then made weight, okay? So he actually went back and made weight. That's good. Yeah, initially he missed weight, Timmy, but I think he's gone back and made it now. So, yeah. XMB45, the Boots fanboys will be licking their chops at who the best 147 prospect is, but he's definitely a good one. Yeah, Anthony at Thunderdome done a film analysis on Boots Ennis the other day, and he was actually picking out some of the flaws that Jaron Ennis has in his game. Ennis is a big dude, some nice uppercuts up close, flashy combinations and hand speed, but his distance control is pretty poor. He invites too much pressure onto himself. And yeah, he kind of makes he totally gives away his natural advantages for such a tall, rangy guy. And in the Sergey Lipinets fight, that's going to be interesting for me. Pick up to Nordic Warrior. He says, "Imagine buying a pay-per-view." Laugh out loud. Lomachenko versus Fortuna. Oh, Lomachenko tunes him up. AJ. Yeah, Lomachenko tunes him up. Yeah, Marcus Morrison's last fight was against a 5-69-1 journeyman. He had a trilogy with him, completely padded record against many fighters with losing records. Yep. Bear in mind, this was a guy who got beat up by Jason Wellborn a couple of years ago. Got schooled by Ty and Booth in a 4-rounder. Come on, man. Yeah, big up to Timmy, man. Big up to Timmy. That Polak got robbed blind. What, on the MTK card? Nordic. Hello, Kyle Baird. I've never actually paid for a pay-per-view in general, Nordic Warrior. I'm a cheap gitvo. Yeah, I'm very selective of what I buy. I rarely buy pay-per-view cards. If I buy a card, usually it's when me and my friends are together. We'll get a few beers in, buy a pay-per-view occasionally. That's when I usually buy a card or chip in with a card. But if I'm on my own, I forgot the last time I bought a pay-per-view card on my own, like when I've just been chilling by myself. I've totally forgot. It might have actually been Errol Spence Jr. versus Kell Brook or Usyk versus Gassiev, one of those two. Whatever came last. Big up to Andre Lol, this is mad. Ortiz missed weight like 3 times since moving up. Yes, crazy, bro. So can anyone confirm, has Ortiz gone back and made weight now? Because that's what I saw on Twitter. Yeah, crazy. I saw this. Zan Kazabutsky signing with Frank Warren Thoughts. Yeah, Zan Kazabutsky, very good heavyweight prospect, southpaw. He can bang, he can box a bit, good amateur background. That's an interesting signing. Also, Frank Warren signed Peter Milas, the Croatian prospect. So he's got a couple of good prospects there, Frank Warren. Who knows, man? Maybe they could fight each other in the future. Okay, so he definitely made the weight. Okay. That's good. So, yeah, Virgil Ortiz did make weight. He had trouble making it, though. Interesting. Geo Park, big up to you, sir. He says, is that Eubank fight the worst tune-up you've ever seen? It's one of the worst, especially considering it's on pay-per-view. We see some bad tune-up fights all the time, but it's the context of it being on pay-per-view that gets me. If Eubank Jr. wants a tune-up fight like that, I've not got a problem considering he's been out so long. That's not the issue for me. It's the fact that it's on pay-per-view. And that's how Eddie will try and prop up these pay-per-views. He'll say, oh, we got these names on the card, these world title fights. But what does it matter if they're involved in mismatches? Okay, so good MTK card so far. Interesting. I will watch the main event, Nordic. I will watch the main event. I do like the main event. The announcer for these MTK cards is brutal. Yeah, Zabel, that could be dangerous, that fight. Morrison's going to get beat up in that one. He'll make Chris Eubank Jr. look like a prime Gerald McClellan. That's what I see happening. I don't get why they're doing big entrances when there's no crowd. Laugh out loud. Crazy D3, Estrada versus Sistruket Sorung Vasai, Chocolatito versus Ioka, mini tournament. Hopefully then the winners face each other. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day, Crazy D3. Imagine those two fights on the same card and the winners fight each other. That would be immense. Could you imagine Ioka versus Chocolatito? That would be a great fight. He said the scale that was provided to him was not calibrated and was off half a pound, so it wasn't his fault. Okay. He's actually said that before. Somebody actually dug up his old tweet from when he last missed weight, and he said the same thing. So maybe he's just unlucky. Wizard sleeve, don't want it, don't get it. What's the problem? Listen, I want it, I will get it. I'm not paying for it. And it's not, to me, that sort of card on pay-per-view is just not good for the sport. To be honest, I don't think it's good for the sport. Yildirim already did that for Eubank. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Anthony Yildirim made Chris Eubank Jr. look like fucking Julian Jackson. And that's before we talk about the Bivol Richards mismatch. Exactly, bro. Savvy Ringcraft, that would be great. Yeah, can you imagine that card? Chocolatito versus Ioka. Rungvisai versus Estrada. Great fights, man. And I tell you what, man, I was impressed with Rungvisai the other day. I know he was fighting a tune-up, but he looked a lot more. I've not really been impressed with Rungvisai post Estrada until that fight. He just looked a lot more on it. He looked a lot more happy, a lot more healthy in that ring. So I think Estrada's got his hands full with Rungvisai in his next fight. Ioka would sleep Chocolatito. That's a big call, Andre. That's a big call. Ioka's a great fighter, man, but Jesus, that's a big call. I see that as 50-50, to be honest, Andre. Richards has more balls than Buatsi. Yeah, listen, I've got no problem with Craig Richards. He seems like a proper nice guy. He's a tough guy as well. He can punch a bit, but at the end of the day, he's 1-on-1 at domestic level at light heavyweight. Would he beat someone like Igor McCalkin, for example, who's European level? I'm not entirely convinced. But hopefully he's getting paid well. Hopefully he goes a few rounds. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt too bad. Yeah, those Roberto Garcia Boxing Academy dudes always have weight issues. Yep. That snack program obviously not working too well. Eddie's going to have Tony Bellew shouting, "Does my head in paper poo should be £5. Big up to Mr. Relax. Andre, Eddie is mad. He's trying to convince us Chisora Parker's pay-per-view. Yeah. Edgar Berlanga versus Caleb Plant. I would lean towards Caleb Plant. I don't rate Caleb Plant that highly, but Edgar Berlanga is so unproven. All I know about Berlanga is he's a big kid and he can punch a bit, but I've not seen him tested whatsoever. So I would lean towards Caleb Plant, to be honest with you. Nordic says Craig Richards can punch. He's a bit underrated. Yeah, I'm not saying like he's a bad fighter or anything like that, but like Dimitri Bivol is next level to me. He's immensely talented. And for me, Craig should not really be sharing the same ring. He'll give it a go, man. He won't come and lie down, but he'll get pieced up. Oh, yeah, no doubt, Kyle. I rate Dimitri Bivol highly as well. I was just expecting something a bit better for him. Hopefully after that fight, though, no matter what, hopefully we see him active. I want to see him fight 2 more times after the Craig Richards fight. I hope Eddie doesn't fast-track Buatsi. Yeah, from what I've heard, Buatsi is going to fight... I reckon it's going to be Sullivan Barrera, Andre, to be honest. That's what I think for Buatsi next. Nordic says he's got a good jab and can box a bit. He can punch and has improved a lot. That's not an easy fight for Bivol. Interesting. See, I'm not that high on Craig Richards. Don't get me wrong, like I say, I do like him as a guy. Seems decent, but I can't really see him doing anything above domestic level. I think Ioka should fight in unifications at super flyweight. Yeah, I agree, Timmy. Again, I would like to see Ioka fight Ankahas, but Ankahas right now is just doing absolutely nothing. If you want to dance, you got to pay the band. Yeah, that is true, Wizard Sleeve. That is true. But Christ, I'm going to be looking through the. I'll be looking through the window. I'm not paying. Berlanga versus Hutchinson, Neil Simpson. That's a good fight, you know. See, I don't rate Willie Hutchinson from what I've seen. I think he might get banged out in that one. I'll give Berlanga that fight. Big up to Tel J. Big up to Adam UK as well. Toby plays, I'm a Chisora fanboy for my sins, so I'm inclined to pay Eddie as much as I need in order to watch this card. Yeah, man. Again, I don't dislike Chisora. He's given me some good fights, but fuck. Why do British fighters always have to get gay-ass tattoos? Yeah, there's a few of those guys, man. There's a few of those guys, Nordic. I've just spent 5 minutes yelling and insulting the card, swearing every 5 words. Should I upload it? Yo, Unrivaled, do it. Upload it, upload it, upload it. Unrivaled's fucking uncensored. Go for it, man. Because I'll definitely watch it. Yeah, Mikey Garcia is looking rather fat, Kyle. He's looking quite fat. Jiho Park, he says, I've seen much worse tune-ups than Bivol versus Richards. For example, Golovkin, Vanis Martelosian, Danny Garcia defending his title against an unranked guy. Bivol's going to piece up Richards, though. I think Vanis Martelosian is better than Richards, to be honest. But yeah, Danny Garcia's had a couple of bad ones, from what I recall. Oh, yeah, Alberto Machado got knocked out last night. Indeed, he did, yeah. 6th round, yeah. Apparently, that was a really good fight. He had the guy on the canvas twice and got knocked out. I've seen the knockout, but I've not seen the fight. Sounds like a good fight, though. Plant's not been tested, AJ, but at the same time, he has in a sense, like he's fought Porky Medina, went 12 rounds. He fought Uskatigi, went 12 rounds, took a few shots here and there. He's a lot more tested than Belanga. And he's not terrible, Caleb Plant. I always kind of go off on Caleb Plant, but I'm not saying he's terrible or anything like that. But I just don't rate him as highly as a lot of people do. Should there be a Furman Garcia too? I don't see why not. AJ Morningstar. What's either guy going to do right now? I'd watch it. I'd watch that fight. Oh, Nordic's got some stick in the chat. Big up to Timmy. He says, yeah. Timmy says there's 2 good fights on there. Yeah, Intangible. He wants the video as well. Yeah, Mark. Give us what we want, man. As Frank would say, for the fans, man. Give us what we want. Crazy D3, I laugh out loud. I commented, it's not pay-per-view worthy under Matchroom's YouTube post. Comment got deleted. Yeah, not surprised. Crazy. Not surprised at all. Joe Blow, I'd like to see Huey versus Akole on the AJ Fury undercard. Are you being facetious there, Joe Blow? Because that would be the most boring fight known to man. I still want to see Huey Fury fight Martin Bakole. I think that's the fight that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Unrivaled says, sorry, Nordic, got to be honest, Craig Richards doesn't belong in there, just like Adam Dines. I think Adam Dines might beat Craig Richards, to be honest, Unrivaled. I think he might beat Craig Richards. It would certainly be competitive. They're on the same level, probably, more than likely. Andre says, thoughts on Furman coming out saying Manny was on the juice. I wouldn't be surprised as there was minimal testing. The thing is, I've got no problem with that scenario because both guys had the exact same situation. So even if there was minimal testing, it applied to both guys. So yeah, I think Furman is just, showing signs of sour grapes, to be honest. Just sour grapes from Keith Furman. Big up to Joe Blovo every time. Big up to Jay's Boxing Universe. Saying it on here now, I'll be a champion or die trying. I'm dedicating my life to this sport. I'm going to find a way to make it work. That's the attitude, man. That's the attitude. What do they say? What's the saying? I forgot the saying. There's a saying I've fucking totally lost. But yeah, that's the attitude to have, man. However far you get, man, is just enjoy the journey. That's the main thing. I think that's the thing we, as humans, we kind of lose track of. We always have goals in mind, etc., but we lose track of in the moment now. And that's the key, is enjoying the journey, no matter what you're doing. Because how many people do you see in life set goals, they achieve their goal, and they're like no happier for it because they're so fixated on that goal that they're not living in the moment and enjoying that time in present. Sorry. So yeah, goal setting is all well and good, but try and enjoy the moment as well. Richard should be a sparring partner for Bivol. Yes, big it up, man. Yeah, smash the like, guys, by the way. Hit the like, be much appreciated. Dermot Nicholson, he can punch a bit, AJ Morningstar. So I'd be intrigued to see what happens if he connects on Belanga's chin, but I would imagine Belanga gets him out of there, to be honest. Timmy Nealon, Mark, you know it needs to be uploaded. You know it needs to be uploaded. What's happening to Hughie Fury? I've got no idea, bro. I know he got a bad cut in his last fight. Maybe that's still kind of healing up. But yeah, I want to see Hughie Fury fight either David Price or Martin Bakole. Those are the fights for me. Now, that was bad, actually. Yeah, Dominic Wade was bad. Wasn't he on tag as well, Dominic Wade, when he fought Golovkin? I'm pretty sure he was on tag. But even Dominic Wade, though, at least he beat Sam Solomon. Even though that was a very close fight. At least he beat Sam Solomon, though. Big up to J-Dav. Del Baratzi's only 6'1" and looks a bit frail compared to some of the elites at light heavyweight. If Callum Smith could make super middleweight, why not Baratzi? Yeah, I've always thought that, J-Dav. I've always thought Baratzi looks quite small at light heavyweight. In terms of like his build, you're right. He is very slender. Bro, when I was going to fight amateur, I was like, fuck, I was 6'1" and I was going to fight at welterweight, bro. So fuck me. Yeah, do it for the hood. Big up to Christian Lewis in the building. He says, big up Del Boy. What's going on, Mark? Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm sure Mark's good as well. Mark's going to go off on one. James Nunn, totally off a point, but isn't Akole fight for the vacant Cruiserweight title? Why did it get vacated by and who? For the life of me, I can't recall. So yeah, the WBO was originally contested between Maris Briedis and Krzysztof Glowacki. Briedis won, but how he won was basically extremely controversial. If you remember, he hurt Briedis hurt Glowacki with an elbow, and then Glowacki got knocked out. So the WBO basically stripped Briedis and they ordered a rematch between Briedis and Glowacki. That could not happen because Briedis was in the World Boxing Super Series, and hence the belt is vacant. And yeah, Glowacki and Akole are going to fight for it. A decent fight, though. It's a decent fight. Yeah, Dominic Wade got fucked up that night. Dominic Wade was a good, like, regional guy in the States, like a domestic guy in the States. Like, he beat Sam Solomon, but yeah, ultimately just didn't belong in the same ring, in my opinion. Didn't belong in the same ring. Yeah, Adam, yeah, all confirmed. Parker Chisora, all confirmed. Pay-per-view, May 1st. At this stage, AJ Morningstar, Inoue knocks out Gonzalez. He'll knock out Gonzalez. Gonzalez might win some early rounds with his activity and whatnot, but Inoue is going to catch him and knock him out. Yeah, Glowacki tomorrow. Yep. Intangible says Hughie Fury versus Akole still isn't a bad fight if that legit happened. Akinwande versus Nelson. Yeah, man. Sorry, I've read your comment wrong. Hughie Fury versus Akole still isn't as bad of a fight. That legit happened. Akinwande versus Johnny Nelson. Yeah, you're right, bro. You're right. Yeah, that's it. The WBO stripped Briedis for taking the Dorticos fight after they ordered the Glowacki rematch. That's why, yeah. Dell's coming round to sweet hands a little bit. Nah. Just I'm trying to be a bit balanced with Caleb Plant. I do hate on the guy quite a lot. I do hate on him quite a lot. It's not even hate, though. I just don't rate the guy like that. Oh, interesting. Savvy Ringcraft. Nice one, Jay. I'm looking to turn pro sometime next year. Going to do one last amateur season. Interesting, bro. Hopefully, though, when you do turn pro, hopefully the world goes back to normal so you can kind of sell tickets and whatnot, because I would imagine turning pro now would be very hard. If you've not got like a real extensive amateur background, I would imagine turning pro right now would be very hard. So just bear that in mind, bro. But yeah, I wish you all the luck in the world, man. All the luck in the world. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. Yeah, Eubank and Bivol coming off long layoffs. Yeah, but the thing is for me, Timmy, I've got no problem with these guys taking tune-ups. For me, it's just the fact that they're on pay-per-view. That's what gets me. Yes, see, put that fight on the card. Huey Fury, David Price, put that on the card. Yep. That makes it a little better for comedy value. And it is a fun fight. Yeah, I saw this. Del, do you reckon Khabib should have moved up in weight before he retired? I'd have liked to have seen it, but listen, I respect the guy's wishes to retire. And if he stays retired, that's a hell of a way to go out, the way he's gone out. So yeah, big up to Khabib. Big up to Khabib. Yeah, I've got a Cole by late stoppage, Andre. Just too big, too strong, too young, too fresh. And I think he's improving as well under Shane McGuigan. He's not holding quite as much now. You know, he's taken a half step back, keeping the guys behind his jab a lot more, and he's finding that right hand with more regularity. His accuracy is slightly improving under Shane. I think there are signs of improvements there. So, yeah, I've got a Cole by late stoppage in that fight. But Glowacki could be tough. He's very crafty. Who's got the better chance at beating Canelo right now? I'd say either David Benavidez or Gilberto Ramirez, even though I'd still make Canelo a favourite. I would say Benavidez personally, due to the aggression, the punch output, the hand speed. He's got respectable power. I don't think Benavidez is the type of guy who would come to lie down and make up the numbers. Yeah, he is inexperienced and he is raw. He's got a lot of improving to do. But sometimes those sort of fighters can give guys like Canelo problems. Or even or that sort of fighter problems. We saw how Maidana gave Floyd like fits with that unorthodox style. Canelo's a guy who likes to sit on the ropes, roll with shots. If you're doing that against Benavidez, a guy who throws combinations, punches in bunches with speed, you know, you could be losing rounds in those moments. So I like the style clash. I'd say Benavidez. Oh, that was a terrible tune-up. Plant versus Mike Lee, yeah. That was bad. That was worse than Craig Richards, no doubt. That was terrible. That was a lot worse than Craig Richards. Yeah, B-roll as well, yeah. Glowacki has heavy bones. Glowacki only weighed 195. Is he planning to box and move? Maybe. AA boxing and Blunt. I'm happy with the card. It's not I'm happy with the card. It's not pay-per-view worthy in my opinion, but I'll stream it. So not moaning about the pay-per-view cost. That's fair. That is fair. A 6'1" welterweight. You're a giraffe, Del. Yeah, I've got the same dimensions as Tommy Hearns, basically. Kinda. I'm not sure what Tommy Hearns' arm length was. My reach is a bit less, but my arms are super long because I've got narrow shoulders. So for me, like arm length to me is always more. I don't get why boxing still goes on the reach stat. Arm length to me is a lot more relevant, to be honest. Arm length is more relevant than reach. They are both different. Do you think Buatsi's ready for Elidia Alvarez? Be a tough fight, be a good step up. Yeah. I'd like to see it, Jiho Park. That'd be a very good test. Might be a bit too soon, but I'd watch it. Maybe a fight too soon. Definitely a good shout, though. Del is the Mike Tavi after the Taffy puller. Fuck's sake. Big up to official scorecard boxing science. Hopefully you'll keep him well, official. I want to see Ajit Caballel have a big fight, yeah. Yeah, Ajit Caballel has some sort of tie with Top Rank, I believe, and he's still not fought. He's not fought in a while, Caballel. It's weird. He's one of those fighters, though, in my opinion, Caballel, who is like he's super awkward. He's not a big name. He's kind of a high risk, low reward type guy, Ajit Caballel. Doesn't really put bums in seats. Yeah, I want to see Price versus Huey on that card, Timmy. I want to see, yeah, Price versus Huey. Willie Lamont's son turned pro this week. Hopefully he can be a Scottish legend like his dad. Yep. I liked his father as well. Like Nordic said, yeah. Good fighter, Willie Lamont. Big up to Carlos Mendoza in the building. Inoue versus Ioka. Again, I would take Inoue. Late knockout Inoue. I wanted to see Willie Lamont versus Ricky Burns for years, yeah. Would have made a lot of sense in Scotland. Would have sold out, I would imagine. Would have been a great fight. Did you see Okole's rap song? Ah, shit is a generous review. Yeah, I heard a couple of bars from Okole, and yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. What do you say? I'm in with Dubai with the Arabs or something. I don't know what he said, but Joe Smith Jr. said some disparaging things about Beterbiev recently. Yeah, I heard that. He's Joe Smith is open to that fight, man. That's what I want to hear. See, I would have a problem with that sort of thing if I felt the guy wouldn't then fight the guy. But Joe Smith would fight anybody. So listen, Joe can say what he wants as far as I'm concerned, because I know he'll fight Beterbiev. But I think he'll be in for a rude awakening once that fight does happen. Put it that way. Can Berlanga take on Canelo in a few years? I don't think he's going to get that far, Morningstar. I don't think he'll get in the position to fight Canelo. I think he'll get exposed before then, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that is true, Andre. Benavidez leaves his body wide open and drops his hands way too much, in my opinion. Yeah, Benavidez has that kind of street fighter mentality about him. People always say that about Crawford, but I don't really see it as much in Crawford as I do with Benavidez. That guy just likes a fight, and that could be his undoing. But that's why I like Benavidez a lot. He's got that edge to him, that meanness, that spite. I like Benavidez a lot. I know he's unproven. I know he's got discipline issues. I get all that. I know he's very raw, but I like what I see from Benavidez. You hear how that guy talks about his sparring with the likes of Golovkin, and you can tell that he's learned a lot from those experiences, how he talks about those experiences. Big up to Ruben Guerrero. Don't really feel like help paying for Joe's legal fees. No, exactly, bro. Yeah. Joe Parker been running the county lines in New Zealand, man. Yeah, he should do, bro. Adam UK. Providing Beterbiev wins and Bivol wins, both guys should fight each other. Alternatively, Bivol versus the Joe Smith Vlasov winner, or Beterbiev versus the winner of that fight. Anything like that. To be honest with you, Jay's Boxing Universe, I've not really seen too many Ray Mancini fights. Good aggressive fighter, come forward guy, but I've not really seen enough of him. Big up to Bubbles Baboon in the chat. What is the age of the guy in here thinking of going professional? Very good question. I like the profile picture as well, by the way. Why do they have the clueless Spencer Fear on commentating Laugh Out Loud? Yo, he subscribed to my channel, Nordic, believe it or not. He's a subscriber of mine. So reach is so arm length is from the pit of reach is just outstretched arms, like your wingspan, basically. That's your reach. Like hold your arms out. Essentially, that's your reach, basically. Arm length is from your armpit to the end of a fist, basically. And to me, arm length is a lot more relevant than reach. A lot more relevant. Yeah, exactly, Savvy Ringcraft. Yeah, I always thought the armpit to the end of a fist is a better reach measurement rather than your whole wingspan. Totally agree, Savvy Ringcraft. Totally agree. Like I've got stupid arm length. Like my arms are 28 inches. And I was a welterweight, when I was kind of boxing, messing around. Bear in mind, Vladimir Klitschko's arm length as a heavyweight is 26 inches. I'm just gangly as fuck, basically. Super lanky, gangly. I'm that sort of guy. I'm a white welterweight Deontay Wilder. That's what I am. Number one British cruiserweight, past or present? Good question. I would say David Haye, believe it or not. I would say David Haye. I know Johnny Nelson has the title defenses, but I think David Haye was a better fighter, much better fighter than Johnny Nelson. I'd go David Haye. Spencer Theron commented on my channel one time. Yeah, he subscribed to me, man. Big up to Recognize the Matrix. Yeah, that was on that New York station, wasn't it? I forgot what it's called, but yeah, AJ spit some bars about 2 years ago before he got dropped by Ruiz. I agree, Leighton, bro. I'm not paying for that shit, bro. I'm not paying for it. Yes, G-Man. Listen, G-Man, if that fight ever gets made, if Lovejoy versus Allen gets made, we need to do a fucking co-commentary, bro. We need to do that. That'll be like the big fucking collaboration. I uploaded Darius Mikuchelski versus Mark Prince a while back, had to take it down, but before I did, Spencer Theron was in the comments responding to people, laugh out loud. I haven't been in Dubai with the Arabs. Big up to Mr. Higgins, man. He says, sup, blue collar, great channel. Thank you, bro. I'm glad somebody thinks so, man. It's always good to hear, man. Real talk. It's always good to hear. Because there's a lot of great channels on here, man. So it's always nice to hear that. Scott Brown, he says, Beck the bully over Belanga and Benavides, but can't see what that fucking emoji is, bro. I'm like an old man when it comes to that sort of thing. But yeah, I do rate Beck the bully very highly. Official is in Paris with a whole load of Arabs. Oh, Christ. Yeah, Bivol Baturbiev is my fantasy fight. Bro, if that fight happens, man, I'd pay for that shit, mate. No problem at all. I'd pay for it. That's one of those fights where right now, if that fight happened tomorrow, I'm back in Baturbiev. But the longer we wait for that fight, my opinion's going to change quickly, put it that way. I love that fight, though, man. I want to see Joe Smith Baturbiev first, to be honest, just because of the violence aspect. That'd be a brilliant fucking fight. But yeah, that's a fight down the line I want to see, man. Yeah, Joseph Parker dealing in New Zealand, that's on the same level as Elmo smuggling in the US. Yeah, exactly, bro. Sometimes, though, man, sometimes it's the quiet ones who are most greasy. You know, the guys who talk too much, they're usually the bottom feeders, or they're bullshitting. They're either like the foot soldier, and basically they'll get caught because they're dumb, or they're bullshitting. The ones who move in silence are the guys earning the money. And who knows, man, maybe Joe Parker's like shot in like a madman out in New Zealand. Who knows? Fuck Niall Kennedy. Yep. Baboon in the chat causing aggro. Oh shit, where the fuck was I, man? Shut up, you baboon. Oh dear. Del, I know you have a fetish watching two short men repeatedly hitting each other, but that Estrada Gonzalez fight is why I'm disinterested in the lighter weights. 2,529 punches, no knockouts or KO, no knockdowns or KOs. Bruv, come on, man. Come on. That's a great fight. I think some people went overboard with how good it was, but it was a great fight. Wingspan is only important if you're a vulture. Yeah, I never get the fascination with reach. I'd rather know guys' arm lengths, to be honest with you. It's a lot more telling, in my opinion. It's a lot more telling. It's a lot more relevant. Yeah, I actually think Parker's innocent in that meth dealing stuff. He's guilty of being a muppet laundering for the boys. Yeah. You wouldn't be surprised if, like... Yeah, I know what you mean, Mr. Higgins. I know what you mean. Anyone seen the character Mimsy in South Park? Pretty sure he's based on Niall Kennedy. I have. David Haye is the greatest UK cruiserweight. I agree. Intangible. I agree. I know Johnny Nelson has the title defenses, but when you look at his resume at Cruiserweight, it's pretty poor. Cole Thompson, good win, but controversial win with that stoppage. He drew to Guillermo Jones. I mean, his resume at Cruiserweight isn't great. O'Hara Davis got long arms, yeah. I got fucking arms like O'Hara Davis, man. I'm just taller. Del has the Jack Skellington physique. Oh, shit. Yeah, I agree, Nordic. Hay would probably stop Nelson unless Nelson can run for 12 rounds. Yeah, I'd take David Hay all day long. Finally catching a live. Big up to you, Richard. Oh, that's a street crossing emoji. Okay. No street crossing. Okay. Del, we need G-Man to give us Ali Drew updates. Laugh out loud. Yeah, big up to G-Man every single time. Check out G-Man's channel, by the way. Very good channel. G-Man Boxing, one of the best on YouTube, as is Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. Official Scorecard Boxing Science. Nordic Warrior. Some great channels here, man. Intangible Boxing News, another really good channel. Recognized for Matrix, doesn't always upload, but again, when he uploads, I always watch. So yeah, man, some good channels in the chat. Intangible saying to Andre, Akole has a glass chin, got demolished by Erislandy Savon in the Olympics. Yeah, he did. He did. His chin is definitely is questionable, Lawrence Akole. Definitely questionable. But we'll see whether Glowacki can test it. We'll see. That's interesting. I think reach matters more in high-level MMA than high-level boxing. Interesting. Exactly, official. I thought both guys showed elite-level defense. Chocolatito's high guard in general is world-class. One of the best guards in boxing. It's not high guard per se, but his guard is one of the best in boxing. Plus his head positioning on the inside, where he's in a position where he's not getting hit, but he's getting his own work off. Chocolatito has amazing defense. And I thought Estrada in that fight at times was doing great parrying with one hand. Both guys showed great defense. Great defense. Yeah, it was BG London 2019. Yeah, 2019. A long time. Breaking news: Lawrence Akole has a new chain with a whole load of carrots. Yep. Oh dear. My theory is that his PED plug was involved in the meth ring and he was asked to wash money as a favor. Yeah, could be true, crazy. You could be right. I'll tell you what, though, if I'm Joseph Parker and I've been buying PEDs from those guys, I'd want a fucking refund because they've obviously not done any good based on his last few performances. But yeah, big up to John Lejeune in the chat. Not seen you for a while, bro, so hopefully you're keeping well, John. Hopefully you're keeping well. Yeah, I agree, Eric. I think Glowacki's going to get whooped as well. I'd say late stoppage. I think he's just he's past his best now, Glowacki. I don't think he's shot, but he's definitely past his best. Akole's too big, too tall, too young, too fresh. My hyper happiness with this card is now listenable for your viewing pleasure. Interesting. I'll give it a listen, bro. I'll give it a listen in a second. When I get off here, I'll watch it. Let me just check the MTK card quickly. Okay, cool. Yeah, the card tomorrow is better than the pay-per-view except Katie Taylor. See, I'm not a big fan of female boxing. You know, that fight for a female boxing fan is definitely intriguing, but for me, it's never got. I've just never got into it for some reason. I just can't enjoy it. Boxing is more accumulation, not as many one punch KOs early as MMA with smaller gloves. I don't know, man. It depends. Depends on the fighter and division. Del, how long do you see Akole staying at cruiserweight if he wins? I can't see him doing much at heavyweight. Yeah, I think he'll beat Glowacki. He'll try and unify Eddie Hearn was basically saying 12 months for a collate at Cruiserweight. So yeah, after this fight, maybe 2 more fights, maybe like a routine title defense after he beats Golovkin, should he win that fight, and then a unification fight, then he'll move up. So after this fight, I'd say 2 more fights at Cruiser. G-Man. Yeah, Boxing Squared is a very good channel. Mr. Higgins, very good channel. Indeed, yeah, covers for heavyweights better than any major network. Yeah, he does, bro. Young prospects, up and comers, to the main event guys. Yeah, he's a great channel. I've been subbed to Boxing Squared for like basically since the start. When I found his channel when he done a prospect video on a guy called Laron Mitchell, some US heavyweight prospect who kind of failed, but like, he was covering these guys from early. I'll do one for the main event, G-Man, more than likely. I might not. Probably though, probably. Yeah, that's a great Twitter account. Sorry, JDAV Company Nelson, brilliant account on Twitter. Listen, man, yeah, Hooker can definitely punch Andre. The thing I would be thinking of if I'm back in Maurice Hooker is the guy could punch at 140, but he had a hard time making weight. Now he's at 147, the weight cut's less strenuous, so maybe he's punching harder at 147. I thought Hooker looked quite good in his first fight at welterweight. He fought Uriel Perez, whatever his name is, and he looked quite good that night. Was punching really hard. So yeah, you never know. Dale's not a fan of female boxing. Misogynist. Yeah, yeah. Indeed, I am. Indeed, I am. Yeah, smash the like, by the way, lads. Always appreciated. It's always appreciated. Yeah, Del, you sexist. Yep. Yeah, indeed, I am. Different Higgins, unfortunately. Yeah, I wish that was Dave Higgins, bro. I wish you was Dave Higgins, man. Surprised Heyman does not like it more. Do you mean female boxing, Scott Brown? Simon, he says, Dale, what happened between you and D Jefferson? There was a couple of snidey comments about your channel earlier, dude. Listen, if you point it my way, I'll watch it, but until I see it, whatever. Higgins, do you smoke 50 a day and play snooker? Oh, dear. Yeah, that was so fucking funny, G-Man. That was so fucking funny when, yeah, I've seen those videos, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when Joshua took Khan's misses, yeah. Well, when Khan accused Joshua of taking his misses, yeah. Shit. That was one of the best stories in boxing for that time period. Amir Khan just went full retard in front of everybody, man. Amir Khan, man. You can say what you want about Amir Khan, man, but for better or worse, there's not many more entertaining fighters in British boxing in the last 10, 12, 15 years or so. Like, his career has been like a train wreck. It's been like a just up and down, up and down, up and down. Crazy. It's been a good watch, Amir Khan's career, to be fair to him. Believe it or not, there was a time I really liked Amir Khan. From like 2009 to 2011, 2012, I liked Khan's career. He was fighting some good guys. Maidana, Kotelnik, Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson, Zab Judah. He had a really good run at one point with level of competition. And all of these fights were exciting. Malanaji. I used to like Khan at one point, but when Khan ruined his career for me when he started chasing the Mayweather fight. He became obsessed with that fight. Amir Khan's a simp. He is. Imagine putting your wife on blast like that in front of the public and then still staying with her. Yeah, he is a simp, Pigeon. He's definitely a simp. No, I don't, bro. I don't. I'd bang her, BG London, but that's about it. That's about it. I never liked Khan since the McCloskey fight. They bailed him out big time in that one. Yeah, I do vaguely remember that fight. That was on pay-per-view as well. That was on pay-per-view as well. Yeah, especially UK champions, XMB 45. Yeah, he did. Yeah, his run at that time was decent. 2009 to 2011 wasn't a bad run, to be fair to Amir Khan. I got to give him his credit. Like Malinaji at the time was a good name. Maidana, Kotelnik, say what you want. He got robbed by Devin Alexander back then, and Khan schooled him. Zab Judah went on to give Danny Garcia a really hard fight. Khan got some good wins in that time. The Peterson fight was very close, could have gone either way. And obviously the Danny Garcia fight, we knew what happened there, but he went on a good run. He went on a good run, Amir Khan, at one point in time. Amir Khan for British PM as a simp. I remember watching that Khan Prescott fight live and everybody was going on about it at school and the boxing gym. He got properly smashed that night. Yep. That's hilarious. Yeah, that fight ruined Broner, Scott Brown. Like that fight completely destroyed his confidence. Now, yeah, he just shows up now. Yep. Garcia versus Tank, who wins? Do you mean Ryan Garcia, AJ? I'd say Gervonta Tank Davis, to be honest. I'd take Tank Davis over Ryan Garcia right now. Big up to Marcy D in the building. McCloskey was about to KO Khan late, in my opinion. The Golden Boy Doctor saved him. I need to see that again, Nordic. I recall that being a really messy fight, though. That's what I remember. Who is the most overrated UK fighter ever, mate? Ever? Most overrated UK fighter ever? I might say Chris Eubank, actually. I see you put Chris Eubank. I might actually agree with you in terms of like resume and whatnot. He had a few gift decisions here and there. Never really fought the American guys. You know, did some great things for British boxing. Don't get me wrong, but I think Chris Eubank is a bit overrated. Maidana's best win. Oh fuck! I nearly timed you out, bro. Maidana's best win. You probably would say Broner, to be honest. You'd probably say Broner. Yeah, man, that was savage. That was on pay-per-view as well, Nordic. Imagine paying for that and, like, can't get knocked out in a round. Yeah, that's what Sam Jones called Amir Khan as well. And, like, that was years ago. And loads of people kind of flamed him up about it on Twitter. Yo, G-Man Boxing. Del, what did you make of Chris Andre's debate with Steve Goodwin? I think Chris is an absolutely fantastic speaking and really schooled Goodwin. Yeah, that was a great performance by Chris Andre. Like, he completely schooled Steve Goodwin. What I'll do is I'll share it in my community section for those who are interested in that debate. Basically, Steve Goodwin is a UK promoter, and he was basically advocating for all fans and all boxers to be vaccinated before they can attend fights or fight. And Chris Andre was against that. And Chris Andre schooled Steve Goodwin. Honestly, it wasn't even funny. Chris Andre came with facts, stats, and whatnot. Brilliant. Just taught. Yeah. Shout out to Chris Andre. Shout out to Chris Andre, man. Very good channel as well, by the way. Very good channel. But yeah, if I remember, I will share it on my community post thing, whatever you call it. Josh Kelly is the most overrated and Fowler by a mile. Yeah, both of those guys. Yeah, definitely Josh Kelly. He was overrated big time. I don't think anybody really rates Fowler, though. Most people fucking hate Fowler, to be honest. And rightly so. Rightly so, man. That guy's a prick, Anthony Fowler. Absolute prick. How far will Cordina go? European level, maybe? Crazy? European level? I can't see him getting to world level. Yeah, I liked that video a lot. Yeah, his BNC, his BNC level, BNC fighter level videos. Yeah, very good videos. I won 250 quid off a tenner. Prescott to KO Khan. That's a good return, bro. I mean, it was, in hindsight, it was probably it was a very good bet, man, because like Amir Khan got dropped by Willie Lamont, who can't punch. He got dropped by was it Michael Gomez as well? He got dropped a couple of times early in his career, and obviously fucking Prescott was a massive puncher. So I'm surprised they made that fight. Looking back, the only thing Gervonta Davis would beat at the only thing Gervonta would beat the top 35 at is crashing his Lamborghini Urus. Wait, how did he reach the pedals of that thing? Christ. I think he'll beat Ryan Garcia, though, in all seriousness. Buatsi's overrated too, and Anthony Yarde. Yeah, Yarde definitely got found out. Buatsi, I think some people definitely overrate him. I think he's a good fighter, but yeah, people out there acting like he's going to be a world champion, they're ignoring that fucking Beterbiev, Bivol, Joe Smith are in that division. They're all killers, man. Do you think Anthony Joshua is being underrated coming into this Fury fight? By some people, definitely. MMA champ. I think some people act like Fury does everything better than Joshua. That's not the case, man. Joshua's got his strong points. Very good combination puncher. Extremely dangerous at mid-range. He can punch with both hands. Solid timing. Solid basic fundamentals. I think some people are definitely underrating Joshua going in, but vice versa. Some of the Joshua fans are underrating Fury. That's just what fanboys do, to be honest. But yeah, both guys are top fighters. I lean towards Fury, but I don't think it's the mismatch and easy fight people make out. I think it's a lot more dangerous than that. Depending on Fury's tactics, of course. If Fury boxes, feints, keeps Joshua turning, keeps on the move, I think he'll beat Joshua. If Fury comes forwards being aggressive, that's very risky for Tyson. Very risky. Yeah, I can't stand the cunt pigeon. I cannot stand him. No, JDev, no. No, Fowler's not losing that fight, bro. Fowler's not losing that fight. Yeah, he did, Savvy. Yep. Oh no, I'm not arguing that AJ Morningstar, but against Ryan Garcia, I would take Tank Davis all day long. I would take Tank Davis. I say all day long, but I would lean towards Tank Davis. Pigeon's got Anthony Joshua stopping Tyson Fury as my prediction, 10th round. Bro, it's not a crazy prediction, bro. Some people are making out like Joshua's fucking Charles Martin. I don't like Joshua, as you guys know. I don't like Fury either, for that matter. But Joshua's got a chance in that fight, no doubt. Yeah, Tank's beat no good fighters at 135. He only fights small guys. That's true. Yeah, I was very surprised, Ian Ward. I was shocked when that fight got announced. Shocked. I think it's poor, Simon, to be honest, bro. I think it's pretty poor. I don't think it's good enough for pay-per-view. Like the main event in itself needs a really strong pay-per-view undercard, and that card doesn't provide it. Yeah, Algieri was good then, but couldn't punch and was at 147. He was better at 140. Yeah, you're right. I saw your earlier comment. Yeah, Algieri was about to stop Khan in the first. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Chris Algieri turned pressure fighter that night, and he gave Khan a real hard fight. Gave Khan fits. Christ. He gave Amir Khan real problems, man. Yeah, that was my favourite moment, XMB 45 of 2019, when Scott Fitzgerald dropped fucking Anthony Fowler. Brilliant. Brilliant, man. That was my favourite moment of 2019. When Scott Fitzgerald beat Anthony Fowler. Can't stand Fowler, bro, honestly. Cannot stand the guy. Bump of K, he says, Ryan Garcia said Luke Campbell was a dog. He's in a rude awakening if ever he fights a serious fighter. Luke's a talented boxer, but he couldn't hurt a fly. Yeah, Luke Campbell, technically sound and whatnot, very good amateur, but he's still got that amateur mindset. He's not got that killer instinct like a lot of UK prospects coming out of the Olympics. Like, for example, imagine that was Richard Comey hitting Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. I'm not convinced yet by Ryan. I'm not convinced whatsoever. Ryan showed heart in that fight, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more dangerous guys than Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell's not a prolific puncher either. Teofimo, Ryan, and Devin would KO Stank. I think Devin would outpoint Davis. I don't think he'd knock him out. I think Teofimo would beat Tank, probably knock him out. But Ryan, I don't trust. I don't trust Ryan. I would have liked to have fought Fowler in the amateurs, but he was a little before me. Can't really stand him either, to be honest. Yeah. Are you like on the England team then, Savvy Ringcraft? Out of interest. I see Joshua stopping Fury. No fanboy shit, just what I see. Bro, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. There are a lot of legends in boxing that are drug cheats, but Canelo cheats once, done his time. Now he's cleaning out his division. He deserves his props. Meh. I'm not a big Canelo fan, bro. If he clears out 168, I will give him credit though. But clearing that division out would mean beating Billy Joe, beating Caleb Plant, and beating Benavidez. I'll give him credit if he does it. Oh, okay, Del, should White fight Wilder next if he wins against Povetkin? Yes, absolutely, Leighton. See, for me, obviously it looks like we're going to get Fury Joshua, which is great, but that's not enough. The other heavyweights, in the meantime, need to make a name for themselves. They need to take risky fights and put themselves in a position where they are a viable option to fight the winner. So I'm talking about fights like White Wilder versus Ruiz, Hrgovic Hunter, which has been ordered, Usyk Joyce. These are the sort of fights we need, as well as Undisputed. These guys need to take risks and fight each other, man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Leighton. That's a great fight. Brilliant fight. Could you imagine the fight between Wilder and White? Both guys can punch. Both guys are technically flawed. The build-up would be fucking crazy. That'd be a great fight. Brilliant fight. And that would listen, man, a lot of people would be very interested in that fight. I'd love to see it. I think Crawford in a competitive fight on points. Yeah, for Leeds fans. Big up to George C in the building. He said, salute Dell plus for chat. Hearn saying the Chisora Parker card could be the best he's ever put on is ridiculous. Yeah, Eddie Hearn's taking the piss there. Like, I was expecting something solid, yeah, because he was talking about this card, saying it's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And when I saw it, I was like, fuck, that's it? Warrington is insistent that he's a winner and he refuses to lose. Tell that to Maurizio Lara. Christ. I hope that fight happens again, though. I hope it happens again. Larry Oli Bamiwo, fuck me, yeah. I remember him. He was juiced to the gills, man. Larry Oli Bamiwo, yep. That's a blast from the past. Fucking hell. Larry Oli Bamiwo, Christ. Larry Oli Bamiwo, Jesus H. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. I think he is a big puncher, Vision, with his left hook. His left hook is genuinely powerful. But like, it's just the fact that he's so wild and inaccurate kind of thing. But I think he's got genuine power in the left hook, Dillian White. I think he's got genuine power. Just he's just not the most accurate guy in the world. Not a prolific puncher kind of thing. But yeah, he can definitely crack. He can definitely crack. Yeah, Ruiz versus Wilder is a great fight for Ruiz. Laugh out loud. Ruiz has a great jab, can cut the ring off. Good hands, fast combos. Bye Wilder. I think it's a good fight for both MMA champ. The thing is, though, you say Ruiz can cut the ring off. I don't think he can. I don't think he can. If you stand in Ruiz's wheelhouse, he can fuck you up. There's no doubt about it. We saw that against Joshua. I don't think Ruiz is a great pressure fighter, though. I don't think he's great at cutting the ring off. His feet are quite slow. In that fight, Wilder would need to box like he boxed against Deverne in the first fight. If he can do that, if he can remain disciplined and do that, Wilder actually has a chance in that fight. But Wilder's not an intelligent fighter. And I would imagine he would get involved and probably get knocked out. I think that's how that fight would go. But Wilder's got a chance in that fight, in my opinion. I don't think that's an easy fight for Ruiz. Close to a 50-50, but I'd lean towards Ruiz. I do like the Liverpool game, Simon. Liverpool versus Madrid. Good game. He was indeed, yeah. Nordic, yeah. At one point, Larry was viewed as a prospect. Yeah, you're right. You're not lying, bro. He was. That's it. Yeah, yeah. White can bang with that hook. With better technique, he could be more powerful. Yeah, better technique, better accuracy. Yeah, better setup. He can definitely punch Dillian White though. He's heavy-handed. He's definitely heavy-handed. Dillian White is a weird one. He's one of those guys I want to like, but his fans just ruined it for me. Dillian White. His fans ruined it for me. Because I listen, no matter where you rate Dillian White, his career has been very entertaining. There's no doubt about it. He's a fun fighter. He is a fun fighter. JDav, obviously thought of having Chisora, Bivol, Eubank, Katie Taylor on the same bill would be dynamite. Trouble is, only one of them is in a remotely competitive fight. Exactly. Yeah, Larry Oli Bamiwo, was he the dude who got smashed by everyone like Darch, Tom Little? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. But he went on a winning streak at the start of his career, Pigeon. And yeah, he got busted for PEDs. And when he came back, he got knocked out by everyone, basically. Yeah, Bayern PSG best quarterfinal. Yep. Valdez versus Lomachenko. Thoughts? I personally think Lomachenko scores him at 130. I agree. Good fight though. Still a good fight though. Decent fight. I think Loma would win on points, but he's not stopping Valdez. Valdez is a tough kid, and he can crack a bit. Valdez. He's dangerous. It's a good fight, but I'll take Lomachenko. Big up to Julian. He says, "What football team do you support?" Manchester United, bro. I see what you're doing there, Mike. I see what you're doing there. Oh dear. AJ Morningstar, who's already been knocked out before facing Tank. Yeah, that's true. You're right about Gamboa. Yeah, Gamboa. Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, in a head-to-head fight, I take Tank Davis over Ryan. I think Haney's going to keep his distance, stick and jab, and also counter and win a decision against Linares. I agree. Thing about that fight, MMA champ, I want to see Devin get cracked, see how good his chin is. I want to see Linares land a couple of good shots, see what type of chin Devin has. Worst fans in boxing. I know BG London's going to hate it, but I'll say Wilder fans just because of the last 12 months. But all fanboys are bad. Like all mainstream big name fighters, they've all got crazy fans at the end of the day. But Wilder fans are just the worst. Chelsea have got a good chance of winning the Champions League. Yeah, I think they've got Porto next, I believe. That's an easy... it's a winnable tie for Chelsea. Looks like they're going to get through to the semi-finals. So Chelsea have got a good chance, no doubt. No doubt about it. Yeah, Big Larry banned. Heavyweight boxer was banned for 4 years in 2012 after using 13 banned substances, including EPO, human growth hormones, and steroids. Fucking hell. He was on the he was the original Jarrell Miller, basically. Yeah, his balance is poor. Dillian White, yeah, it is indeed. Especially when he throws that right hand, he throws himself off balance so often, man. He's so inaccurate. Yeah. Julian says, I think AJ's going to bat a Fury like a cod down the local chippy. Yeah, mate, you got to love Man United. We're doing okay this season. We're doing okay. The Champions League was disappointing, though. I feel Fortuna would have been a better test for Haney than Linares at this point. I'd say they're on the same level, XMB, similar level. In my opinion, similar level. Yeah, Tuchel's done well at Chelsea so far. There was a London Red, Tuts. Luton Red. Believe it or not, though, my dad's side do actually come from Manchester. So I've got a little excuse to support them. You support Spurs. Say no more, Leighton. Say no more. I like Chelsea, but keep that on the low. Pigeon, man. Pigeon. Christ. Come on, Pigeon. You're better than that. Come on, man. Big up to Clark Kwan in the chat. Favorite American military movie? Christ. I would say Apocalypse Now, bro. Apocalypse Now. I like Platoon as well. I like the Vietnam ones, to be honest. I like the Vietnam ones. They're my favourites. Obviously, Saving Private Ryan, World War II. I love that as well, but I prefer the Vietnam type movies. Fury AJ is going to be a sparring session. I hope you're wrong, Nordic, but you could be right. I hope you're wrong, though. I've got Devin Haney on points, Adam UK. Haney on points. AJ easily KOs Fury. Oh, again, I wouldn't go that far. I think it's a fight in which I'd say 60-40 Tyson Fury kind of thing. I think it's competitive. Yeah, I can't believe Spurs fucked that up, Christian. Cannot believe it. We should believe it, though. It's Tottenham. It is Tottenham. Sorry, Leighton, mate. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket. Good shout. Yep. Support Luton Town, you glory hunter, Dell. Yeah, man. Luton Town. I got love for Luton Town, man. Got a love for Luton Town. My mate's fucking sister lives like right next to the stadium. Nordic, fucking hell, Nordic. I'd still bang her, though. I'd bang her. I'm not going to lie. But that's not really saying much, mate, to be honest. So that's not exactly the hallmark of a quality woman if I'd bang her. So there you go. George C. Charlo Castano talk seems to be quiet. Want to see that ASAP, yeah. Again, I'm quietly optimistic, but it is for PBC. Pigeon, man. Oh, dear. You know Luton. I know you know Luton, Pigeon. Yeah, Luton's a crazy place, man. Some guy got fucking stabbed up in the cafe I used to go to all the time. Some guy got fucking shanked up. So yeah, there's a video of that on social media as well. Like some guy just bleeding out, man. Like blood everywhere. It's crazy. Luton's a war zone now. Actually, Luton's really bad. It was bad when I was coming up. And obviously, I used to get myself in trouble and that and whatnot, but nothing like it's so crazy now. It's a lot worse now. Yeah, Luton's definitely a shithole, bro. Luckily, I don't live there anymore, though. I don't live in Luton anymore. Well, no, I've never lived in Luton. Sorry, but Luton was where like all my friends basically came from. So I used to, by proxy, go to Luton a lot. And yeah, basically, I came up in Luton. I spent a lot of time there. Got into some mischief. Some fun times, though, man. Some fun times. Done some silly things now and again, obviously, but some fun times. That's a little fucking podcast in itself, like for Luton days. There'll be some good stories there, but it is Luton like Compton. Not quite, but it's bad. Big up to Cone Gaming in the house. Luton's a shithole, yeah, fucking hell. Oh shit, Cone Gaming. I never knew that fight was on now, to be honest with you. Just started. Well, it's 3 rounds in. My pick was Maxi Hughes to win. He'll probably get fucking knocked out now. But only been to Luton Airport, that was enough for me. Yeah, man. Does Luton smell of curry? It smells of everything, bro, Luton. It's probably quite nice on the edge of Luton, but not in the town, I suppose. Shame, as went there in the 90s to footy games. Yeah. Yeah, the Luton fans back in those days, maybe not the 90s, but in the 80s and 70s, they had a really bad reputation for like being hooligans and whatnot. Can't imagine getting into aggro now. Can't imagine getting into street aggro now. Never know who's carrying a knife. Yeah, that's why I never get into like aggro now in the streets or in clubs or anything like that. Obviously when clubs were open, that's what I always had in the back of my mind. Like, this cunt could carry a knife. The other thing as well, but I'm really kind of tetchy about is like in the UK, like you can't even protect yourselves. Quite frankly, like if somebody starts on you in the UK, yeah, and you chin the cunt, knock him out clean, and he hits his head on the pavement and dies, then you're facing a fucking charge, bro. Even if you defended yourself, it's going to be extremely hard to prove otherwise. That's what I don't like about the UK. Like, you can't even protect yourselves. You can't even protect yourself. It's an absolute joke. But yeah, that's one thing I've never done. I've never carried a knife in my life. Never. Worst thing that happened to me was some kid smashing a can of Tango in my eye. 2 hours from Luton. 2 hours from London Bridge Station to bang a bird in Luton. Embarrassing looking back. Don't mind. Don't judge me. 10 out of 10 though. No, it's not embarrassing if it's the 10 out of 10, bro. No, bro. You can't have anything in the UK to protect yourselves. You can't have anything, bro. Nothing at all. It's an absolute joke, man. The police are not going to protect you either, man. They're too busy investigating mean tweets to like fucking gender fluid uni students, man. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous. I used to carry a knife all the time until they started upping their stop and searches in my area. 10 out of 10, bro. More, I'd still go there for a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't travel 2 hours, though, for a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't go that far. 8 and above, I'd travel 2 hours, though. That'd be okay. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Can you imagine? Like, where was the police presence in like these urban areas when kids were getting stabbed up? But now people are not wearing masks. They're fucking on it. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. I carried back in the day and I put a Stanley knife in my bum bag when I went for a jog just to be safe. Yeah, especially in Birmingham, bro. Birmingham's not it's not worth fucking about in Birmingham. I've only been Birmingham 3 or 4 times, probably about 4 times. But yeah, there's certain areas I wouldn't want to fucking walk alone at night, put it that way. I know what Nordic. I don't even need to say. I don't even need to say. Again, if YouTube wasn't so censored, man, I'll tell you what I think. But you know what YouTube are like. I need to find. That's another thing. Obviously, I'm doing my second channel, which is for completely different content. I might also do a channel on one of these other video websites where we talk about the world and everything in it. Share my 2 cents on what's going on. That's in the future, though. Yeah, a lot of these major cities are fucked up now, man. Birmingham is a weird city. Used to go there now and then. It was a different world in 2001. Had my headphones though, laughing my ass off. Man, I wish I grew up in the 90s, as in, like, I wish I came up in the 90s. Like, the times then seemed so much better in the 90s. Seemed so much better, man. The music, the fucking everything, man. The Q Club Birmingham was fire. Used to work in Birmingham. Most people seemed miserable. Pigeon went to the Q Club. Dale, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 26, bro. 26 years young. 26 years young. I'm in my prime. I'm still green, actually. I'm still fucking green, bro. I'm so happy to spend 20 quid on Chisora versus Parker. I bet you are, bro. I bet you are. Think of what you could get for 20 quid, man. It's the equivalent of a couple of takeaways, man. That's all it is. I got kids 27. Jesus. I work in finance, e-machines, basically. I work in finance. Pretty fucking boring. Sounds better than it is. But, you know, it pays the bills. It does pay the bills. I'm working on a fucking get-rich-quick scheme. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I'm not having it, Pigeon, man. I'm not having it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'll stream it. It's because the card is so fucking weak, bro. Like, the undercard is pants. Like, that sort of fight, that kind of fight needs a stacked undercard, bro. Yeah, man, you can, no doubt, unrivaled. And if you can cook, bro, you can make that shit taste good. And you sound like the guy who can cook, by the way. That's the impression I get. Yeah, Luton Carnival was cool. Lots of numbers in my Nokia 3210. Laugh out loud. Oh, what now? I'll steal it, unrivaled. I'll steal it. Are you the next Silk Road creator, Ross William Ulbricht? I fucking wish, mate. Fucking wish. Does make you wonder, though, man. Like, when I was younger, when I was like 18, 19, I was doing dumb shit. This is like after I left college. Well, no, I left college in 2013. I was 19 then, and I had like a part-time job, and I was doing stuff on the side. Put it that way. And I was earning a lot more money then than I am now doing dumb shit. Like, I was earning silly money. Well, sometimes I was, put it that way. And it makes you wonder, yeah, what's the point going legit? What's the point going legit? Honestly, when I was making more money back then. But oh well. Yeah, I'd spend, it's 20 quid wasted, indeed. Is that true, Vision? I don't see how that can be true, bro. Because Benavidez is 168. I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch it, but interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. They will charge 20 quid for Chisora Parker, then Eddie can turn around and say AJ Fury is worth 50 quid. Yeah, exactly. You can easily make the argument Parker's the most boring fighter in the top 10 at heavyweight, and Chisora's a gatekeeper. So that's the pay-per-view headliner. No, I totally agree, Leighton. So my mates, they'll watch boxing when it's like a big event, like a pay-per-view event. We'll get round and watch boxing, but they're not hardcore fans by any means. They know like Joshua, Fury, White, Wilder. That's really it. How many years do you think Wilder has left in his prime? How old is he now? 35? It depends, man. Maybe 2, 3 years. Nordic's going in. Wilder is past his prime. His prime was never world class. That's fair. Okay, so you heard it on the Porter's Way podcast. Okay, so Benavidez could be mandatory for Beterbiev. It's interesting. I'll watch it, bro. But I think he'll get smashed. I think he'll get squashed, bro. Anyway, bro, I'm gonna watch this MTK card. I've missed most of it anyway, but I'm gonna watch the main event. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. If you guys could smash the like, it would be much appreciated. As for nerds down at Silicon Valley, they love that shit. So yeah, man, smash the like, all that good stuff, man. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Hopefully you enjoy the boxing, man. And yeah, stay safe, man. Peace.